What is your undiagnosed strange physical problem that doctors can't find an answer for? Mine is a very bad pain between my balls and my butthole when I jump down from about half a meter or higher. It happened first when I was in a boulder center and jumped down from 2 meters or something and did not roll off properly. From that day I have this bad pain. I had to change my whole sports activity because of it. I used to skateboard a lot and go climbing. Can't to shit now 4 years. I have been to a lot of doctors and none of them could explain or find anything. I would be so freaking happy if I would be able to jump again one day. Sleep issues. I have done 3 sleep study tests and 2 tests for narcolepsy and they can't figure anything out. I'm always tired, no matter how much I sleep, and when I have done the overpass tests I always joke with the techs that I'm gonna melt their machines once I hit REM sleep. When I wake up they say you weren't lying. I can tell you dream most of the night. I sleep so hard and I'm always tired. Dreams every night and all night usually. I have the same issue. I had brain scans done, MRI, and the doctors discovered that my brain was more active than what it should be. So they said that that's what messing up my sleep, overactive brain. Also I have an amazing memory because of this. I can only sleep 8/9 HS top, like in a weekend, because my brain decides to wake up, but I usually sleep 6 HS. Freaking overachiever brain. I know this sounds chaotic, but I tire myself out mentally and physically so that I feel refreshed in the morning no matter what. I have 2 lumps on the bottom of my foot. They have been surgically removed twice and still came back. Biases were clean. One podiatrist said they were probably impacted sweat glands, but 2 others said probably not. They had reasons I don't recall. Imagine 2 pea-sized rocks permanently embedded on the bottom of your foot. It hurts to walk most of the time. Sounds like plantar warts. It does. But I can't imagine 3 podiatrists missing warts as a diagnosis. I had erectile dysfunction for about 3 years in my 20s. My sex drive was just as high as always, but I could never get it up without taking some Cialis. Not even a lot, like 2.5 milligrams, but if I didn't take it, I just couldn't do anything. I was stumped for a very long time, checked my testosterone levels, saw a therapist, started working out more, took vitamin D supplements. Nothing seemed to help. Meanwhile I got to go to the bathroom half an hour before any sexual encounter to take a fucking dick pill. It was messing with me so hard, especially at that early age. 3 years into this whole ordeal, the back acne I have had since my teens really intensified, and I went to a dermatologist. Turns out I have had a raging bacterial infection in my skin the entire time. I had to take antibiotics for 4 months before it cleared up. But, much more importantly, within 2 weeks of starting the antibiotics, my dick was working perfectly fine again. Stood up on command, not a problem anymore. Later, I found out that the occasional nosebleeds I experience were also a result from a long-term bacterial infection in my nose, and got rid of that too. Life has never been as good. Edit. For those asking, the name of the bacteria is Staphylococcus aureus and I took doxycycline for 2 months. Helped but didn't clear it fully, and clarithromycin for another 2 months. Finished the job. Also sorry to the dude whose private message I accidentally declined. The above paragraph should give you your answer though. Whoa, that's wild. Occasionally I get an extremely sharp pain in the left side of my chest preventing me from breathing at all. X-rays came up clean, and my breathing is perfectly normal otherwise. Precordial catch syndrome? I get the same thing. I think you may be right. And the time between pain kept getting shorter as I got older. That also part of it? Hard to say. I'll let you know when I get older, haha. If I lay propped up, think little kid laying on their belly coloring, my legs go numb. No visible reason why. Doctors are just like, well, don't do that. Sounds like pinched nerves. Specifically spinal stenosis, where pain occurs when leaning back, like when arching your back posteriorly. I get severe pain in my rib cage under my left breast. It can get pretty bad. I've been to the doctor, and there's been no identifiable cause. Have that too. Most likely it's a slightly deformed nerve that gets squished by certain movements. Been to the ER thinking I had a heart attack at 14 because of this lol. Really? That's a good consideration, and is more progress than I've had in years lol. I always thought it had something to do with my heart or the cartilage in my ribs, but there's no logical explanation surrounding the two. Would also explain why it got worse when I leaned forward. Does it happen when you inhale? I get these now and then. It's, I'm told, hereditary. Has to do with the interstitial space between my lung. Only happens on one side, and my ribcage/muscle when certain nerve endings get irritated. Hurts like a bitch, and I could totally understand thinking you're having a major medical problem like a heart attack. I just have to relax and breathe shallow for a while, and it seems to go back to normal. I'm tired all of the time, no matter how much I sleep. I could fall asleep anywhere at any time, if I just had a minute to close my eyes. If the alarm didn't wake me up in the morning, I could sleep straight through until the next morning. Probably unrelated, but also weird, is that I have spells of not being able to get warm. If I get one of these cold spells I could go stand in the Florida sun in a parka and still feel freezing cold. What gives? Hi. Sounds like you have a thyroid issue, hypothyroidism, to be exact. It's usually a symptom of Hashimoto's disease, but can also be a standalone issue. The most common symptoms are exhaustion, cold, inability to lose weight/weight gain, constipation, depression, and hair thinning/loss. Get your thyroid levels checked as soon as possible. Source: have Hashimoto's that went undiagnosed for years and suffer those very symptoms. There's hair on almost every surface of my body. I'm a girl and I don't have pose and my relatives are all normal haired. It is not an exaggeration. I even have it under my eyes, and it is black and long. I have every symptom of PCOS on the surface, but no cysts on my ovaries and normal hormones. The doctor was slightly surprised to discover that my testosterone was actually a little low. PCOS is a syndrome, meaning that you don't need to have every symptom for a diagnosis, and in fact, few women with PCOS do. I would wager that you have it. Maybe try another doctor. I have PCOS and have no ovarian cysts, normal periods, and am not overweight. I have acne, hirsutism, and blood sugar issues. I was diagnosed at 17. Sometimes I can feel my heart trip up, like it actually misses a beat, then has 3 to 6 super hard beats before getting back to normal. My doctor says it's nothing but it feels like I'm about to die. PVCs? I've had those for over 20 years, and I'm still kicking. They got really bad when I was planning my wedding due to the stress, so now I'm on beta blockers and anxiety meds to reduce them. PACs or PVCs. Basically, part of your heart, atrial or ventricle, is beating a little prematurely, which results in a really inefficient beat. That's the missed beat. Then there's extra blood in your heart left over, so the next beat is extra hard. Pretty much everyone gets them occasionally, but most aren't noticeable. Since yours are, you could try cutting out caffeine and see if that helps. Hormones are also a common trigger. So, periods, if you're female, or stress can be triggering. But they really are harmless in almost everyone. In some people, they can mask a more serious arrhythmia. Just unpleasant. And you need to have like 50k plus premature heartbeats per day before doctors start getting concerned.
So you made it to the end. Maybe you want to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Have a nice day, my friend.